Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I've got some more empties for you, things that I have actually gone through to the bottom of, and then my thoughts and comments on whether or not I would repurchase it or have already bought it again. So if you want to find out some of the products that I've been using up, then just keep watching. By the way, I just want to say that on my face today, I'm wearing some brand new Hourglass products. This is the Vanish Seamless Foundation Stick, and then I went to town on their new ambient lighting palette, which has a setting powder, bronzer, blush, and a highlight in it. And if you're interested in finding out what my thoughts on these two products are, just leave me a comment down below and I can take care of it. I'm gonna start the video by very briefly talking about some of the products that I am still continuing to use. And by that I mean they have made it into other Empties videos. I'm gonna link my Empties playlist here, so that way you can go check out some of those videos where I will go into much more depth about the products that I am now actually just going to list off for you. Things that I am still continuing to use are the Anastasia Brow Wiz, cannot stay away from it, as well as the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black mascaras. I've gone through 2 tubes. I love this mascara. I am still using by Neutrogena the eye makeup remover, the hydrating cream lotion. I find that it is the friendliest to take off my eye makeup, and I am still living and dying by the Simple Micellar water as a way to cleanse my face without over drying it or actually pissing it off. The last thing that I'm continuing to use is by Nivea. It is their shower creams. These are in 2 different flavors. I don't really care what flavor you wind up finding. It is the most moisturizing, smoothing, creamy, silky body wash shower cream that I have ever used. I still use other things, but I always make sure I have some of these on hand. So now let's get into the essence of the video and some of the newer things that I've wound up going through. First, I'm gonna start with IT Cosmetics, the Bye Bye Pores Airbrush Silk Pressed Finishing Powder, which, by the way, has collagen, silk, peptides, and antioxidants. It sounds like a wonder drug. I hit pan and went to the pretty much outer perimeter. I have not continued to use what's left because it's kind of getting a little bit just kind of packed in there, and I really don't feel like I was picking up as much product. When your face deposits your natural oils kind of onto your brush when you double dip and go back in, I think you're actually leaving behind little tiny remnants of the oil on your skin, and then over time it'll kind of pack the powder into a solid. How fancy is that? I do like this product. I do have another one because I find that it is a very finely milled powder. I use it to set underneath my eyes. I will use it to set my entire face. I do feel like it has some mattifying properties to it. I find that it is much easier to travel with, which is kind of primarily the reason that I went after this powder, because I really do like some of the other loose powders. I've said before that loose powders and me always make a mess, and I'm fine to do that when I'm in my own home, but I'm on the road and I'm traveling, I'm in a rush because I'm excited, I want to get out and see the city that I'm in. I don't really have time for loose powder. It's probably not like my absolute favorite setting powder, but I do find it's like 4.9 stars out of 5. I actually went through another setting powder, and I have talked about it before. This is by Youngblood. This is the Pressed Mineral Rice setting powder. I do find that this performs a little bit better than the Bye Bye Pores by IT Cosmetics. This mattifies me amazingly. I guess rice is like really good when it comes to absorbing your natural face oils. I will not ever use this though to set underneath my eyes. I feel like it's a hair too thick for that, or not thin enough for that. Also, because it's so mattifying, I don't really want to mattify under my eyes because then I'll start creasing there. And so I definitely use this though for the concentrated oily spots on my face, and I find that it is very long wearing as far as taking care of my natural oiliness. I made it through actually a couple primers. This one is by Bourjois, and I love it. It's called the Happy Light Base Serum or Primer. This is the mattifying one. There also is a hydrating one. There are many mattifying primers out there. I do find that this is one of the friendlier ones because it doesn't ball up or get so sticky as you're trying to spread it out all over your face. It applies very nicely, but at the same time it's a little bit tackier than some of the other ones that apply nicely but might not be as mattifying enough. So I find that this is a happy balance of mattification and application. In my quest to mattify, I went through by NYX the Matte Finish setting spray. I think that all setting sprays are kind of comparable. I don't I know a lot of people talk about the Urban Decay ones. I don't find that they overwhelmingly are better than some of the other ones. They might be a hair better, but I also, in my brain, I'm thinking how much more expensive they are. And so I'm not convinced. Maybe at some point I will be, but as of right now, I am not convinced. I do find that this mattifying one by NYX, I don't know, it works a hair better than the one that's offered by Maybelline, the one that's offered by L'Oreal. I just enjoy using this. Mentally, I like that it's telling me that it's mattifying me. I do apply it typically after makeup. You can apply a mattifying setting spray prior to foundation, maybe as a different way or a different plan of attack against some of your oiliness. But I find whether I'm having an oily day or a dry day, because I do have those also, I find that this setting spray is very comfortable to wear. It blends my makeup together very, very well, and it's pretty affordable. Another primer that I went through is actually the mini size of the Porefessional by Benefit. I find that this is a really nice pore minimizer. It kind of evens out your skin tone and any kind of texture that you might have without feeling super slippery or super glistening, because those primers, I just do not like them. There's almost like a chalkiness to this. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still applies really, really nicely, but there's like this non-slippery chalkiness to this particular primer. And so if you've got an issue with pores, I find that this really does allow your foundation to apply on a very smooth basis, and it winds up keeping that foundation smooth for a major portion of the day, because sometimes as time goes on, your foundation will start to settle, and where it settles, if you don't have fine lines, which I already have some of those too, but if you don't only have fine lines, if you happen to have larger pores, that's where your foundation and your makeup are going to settle. And so I think this does a really, really good job of kind of dealing with that issue. And it was the tiny size just because I love things that are tiny, but I also have a big size right now. I also went through a cleansing oil. This is the one by No. 7, which is available at Target. I like the packaging that it comes in because it's really easy to dispense. Sometimes with oily products, it can get very messy very easily. Refer to the Garnier cleansing oil, which I think is a fabulous product, but the packaging for it sucks and leaks all over the place. This one has a little twist up activator that will allow the product to either come out or not, and it stays pretty sealed. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily turn it upside down and start shaking it around and tempting the fates, but it does keep primarily the product inside, which I think is important. It's a little bit of a thicker cleansing oil in comparison to some of the others, and that's okay too. I feel like it cuts my makeup and cleans my makeup off very, very well. I will then use a makeup remover wipe and kind of wipe away now the excess cleansing oil that is now on my face, and in doing so, we'll take off the makeup with it. I don't love the smell. It just smells a little bit stuffy and kind of musty. I really think they would have done themselves a favor if they just gave it a little bit of a freshness, or I mean, you don't even have to have a scent, but just don't be anti-scent, because the scent is anti-nose. So I will actually not ever be repurchasing this one. I went through 2 of the Nivea In Shower lotions. There are 3 different varieties. This is the most mild. This is the most intense. I like the one that's moderate and in the middle. These both do a really nice job. You apply them in the shower, wash them off before getting out of the shower, and you feel very moisturized, which is good for me because I don't enjoy putting on moisturizer after a shower. This one I feel is a little too thin. This one is so thick, it's hard to come out of the bottle. The one in the middle applies just enough moisturization. It's easy to use. They all smell great. They have different base properties that give them different levels of moisturization. I find that they're all really good. You just need to narrow down how much moisturizing you actually want. So I like the one in the middle, but I was happy to use these guys up. I went through another body wash by Caress, and this guy's kind of hit and miss as far as being able to find him. He's not always available in all drugstores. It's by Caress. It's called the Endless Kiss Creamy Vanilla and Sandalwood. This smells like the most amazing candle. It's just a very kind of sensual and just kind of relaxing scent. There's no exfoliation in it. It's just a straight body wash. It doesn't moisturize as much as the ones by Nivea, and there are some days maybe when you don't want that, when you want to feel like you've rinsed clean and that, you know, you're moisturized, but just, you know, you're clean. You're not slimy. We never want to be slimy. This one will not make you slimy. I've got 2 hair products by L'Oreal. This is the Sleek It Iron Straight Heat Spray. whether I iron my hair or not, or curl, use a curling wand or any kind of hot tool. I would use this to spray prior to blow drying. I've since graduated and moved on to heat protectant lotions because I find that sprays get all over the bathroom and they kind of get all over you too at the same time. And so I found that this worked great, but like I said, I do prefer the lotions more because I feel like they give me a little bit more protection and a little bit more moisturization, but this was pretty decent. Finally, by L'Oreal, and my final product is a hair mask. It's called the Total Repair 5 Damage Erasing Balm. This one looks like butter. There's one by Garnier out there as well. I think it's called like the butter hair mask. It actually looks like butter, and so does this one. I find that this really does do added moisturizing, particularly to my ends, and whether I choose to apply it to my entire head or all of my hair, or just the ends, even just almost even on a daily basis, just depending on what the outside temperature's like or what my hair condition's like. I find that it's never too much, but it's definitely more than a moisturizing conditioner. I don't know, I really enjoy that it looks like butter. I don't know why. Every time I'm in the shower, I'm like, let me put some butter on my hair. I don't know, that just makes me laugh. So it's got ceramides in it, which I know are good for our skin and our face. So I guess it must be really good for our hair too. I'm familiar with that word and that ingredient. I have not repurchased this one in particular just because I'm enjoying trying a variety of them, but if there was nothing else available, I'd be happy to use this. Okay, so that's a summary of the products that I've been using up and I've, for the most part, been enjoying. I didn't actually hate anything, which that's always nice because then I feel like I haven't wasted my money. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Stay tuned for my new series, the 2-Minute Talks, where I'm able to talk about things in a very quick manner and let you get on with the rest of your day. So if you're not a subscriber and you do subscribe, you'll be notified when those videos go up as well. I will link my social media here on the screen. Definitely check me out in some other places if you haven't already had enough of me here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Hope you have a good rest of the day and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.
As you're trying to spread it out during your face. So if you want to find out the things that I have gone through as of late? What does that even mean, as of late? In my quest to mattify, I went through by NYX one of the matte finish setting powders. No, it's not a powder. It's not a powder.